We already know that Game Week 34 is going to be a double game week for 7 of the Premier League sides, but focusing solely on one game week can be a very big mistake. And today I'm going to go through the fixtures for Game Week 30, 31, 32 and 33. That's basically from now up until the double game week possibility and the fact that it's a double game week. We will need to see which teams are going to have a favorable fixtures, how the form table is looking, so we should be targeting teams to invest and what will it mean for game week 34. We're not going to talk about players for 34, but we're going to rank the teams from best to worst of a fixture run up until then, and if there is a tie of some sort, we're going to decided by looking at which team has a double in game week 34. As already mentioned, it's very important not to focus solely on 1 week, as 1 week of a score can be as minimal of impact as game week 29 was. Yeah, maybe not the same low scores, but looking at everything possible, losing 4 weeks of points compared to 1 can be a very big mistake, and you may not make it up in 34. So we need to prepare for every week accordingly. Have that in mind. If you believe that my thoughts are in sync with yours and you want to see more of them showcased to you, please subscribe to the channel, give a like to the video, comment down if you think I'm making a mistake by not focusing solely on 34. Yeah, my transfers are going to be made mostly around 34 and to look that, but I will need to invest in teams that have good fixtures up until then, and if they have a double up in 34, all the better. So let's start by looking at the form table. I've decided to look at the last 6 fixtures. For some it was a double game week, for some it was a blank, so we have different type of data, but 6 games in a row, it's a good showcase of how the teams are doing. Arsenal are at the top with 18 points, a perfect record, so they are the best team on form. City and Liverpool are close second with 14 and 13 respectively. The biggest surprise for me was Fulham. They're fourth, so that means that they're doing pretty alright. 4 wins and 2 losses only. That's a pretty good score, and they're the same with Manchester United and Wolverhampton. Brighton seem to concede a lot of goals and not do good, but they are on a pretty good form nonetheless. 10 points, the same as Tottenham and Aston Villa, who are fighting for top 4. So Brighton are a pretty good side, and I don't think they should be underestimated. On the bottom end are Everton, Luton and Brentford. Even though Luton are scoring goals for fun, they're conceding a lot, and they have only 2 draws in the last 6 fixtures compared to Sheffield, who even won a game. That's pretty bad. Burnley are the same points as Sheffield. Nottingham Forest, Palace, all of those sides are doing very poorly at the moment, and I wouldn't start investing in them immediately. As you can see, the last time Liverpool and City faced, they ended up with a draw. So Burnley are on the best form from the bottom 7, but let's not call that a good form. After 4 losses and 1 draw, only a single win, it doesn't look very good. Everton, Luton and Brentford are the 3 sides without a victory, and Brentford are with only 1 point, which is a pretty poor form, and I believe that's a team that, yeah, they had a pretty rough patch of fixtures, but I don't see it as a good fixture to be invested in. So we're today going to start by singling out the pictures. So let's go to print. Let's try and make it bigger, as big as possible. So we go like that. We print the screen. We go from Arsenal. So those 4 weeks, we go to Manchester City. We copy that. We go to this. Let's put the voice out, and then we go back to the fixtures and we print out Manchester United to Wolves once again, 4 game weeks, and we will have to be prepared for that. Okay, so now we have our fixtures. I know it's going to go on a second page, so let's now start and pinpoint some teams. We're going to scratch on the list. We're going to pinpoint teams, and the way I'm going to do it is by looking at the green fixtures for the teams given from the Fantasy Premier League site, and then we're going to improve it by selecting ourselves. Let's write. Can we write something? I believe we can. Just a second. So I need a pen. Okay, draw. So I will add that. I will add some double teams, so we can know that this team has a double, 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 and then at the bottom Wolves and Sheffield. So we now have our double game week teams, and if there is a draw somewhere, we can separate the sides. Okay, looking at the fixture runs, let's start by pinpointing. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, that takes a little bit of time, but I want to rank them properly. So 10, 11, 12, 13, sorry, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now let's start and look at those fixtures. Looking at the fixtures, immediately I see that Sheffield do not have a pretty favorable run. Liverpool and Chelsea, so Sheffield are one side that I should consider. United, Chelsea and Liverpool, but they're United, City, Arsenal and Villa. Luton, Spurs, Arsenal, City, that's a pretty bad run of fixtures. Crystal Palace, they face City and Liverpool. Aston Villa face City and Arsenal. Liverpool and Arsenal for Brighton. So the worst team by far is Luton. So I wouldn't invest in Luton players. I believe that the Luton side is far worse than the rest, and I don't see it as a probable team to invest. I know a home fixture against Bournemouth, but no double in 34, and Spurs, Arsenal and City, all of those three sides away. I believe a lot of problems are going to come Luton's way, so I wouldn't invest in them. Sheffield, Liverpool and Chelsea, but Fulham and Brentford. Fulham, by the way, are a team on form, so I will consider them pretty lowly on the ranking, even though they have a double up. I don't see a reason to invest in them. Even for their double up, it's not worth it to invest in Sheffield, in my opinion. They're going to be a side to be relegated, and even a single game week player can outscore a lot of their players. Arsenal are having a pretty rough patch of fixtures, but they are Arsenal, and I would give them a favorable run against Luton and Brighton and even Villa, especially offensively. So I wouldn't put them as that low. Brighton, Liverpool and Arsenal, United, Villa for Brentford. Palace are facing Forest, Bournemouth, City, Liverpool, but they have a double up. So it's pretty tough to invest right now in Palace. I know Eze is a great option, but only one home fixture in the next 4. They're not looking like a great side to be invested at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to put up next Sheffield, as I believe they are, even with a double, are pretty low on our radars. Next up we have, let's see who we have. So the fixture runs do not look amazing for the likes of even City, but Crystal Palace and Luton, of course, they're high. Crystal Palace, Arsenal, I wouldn't rank them below. So yeah, I will put in Crystal Palace. So that's Palace here. So I wouldn't immediately buy the double game week players for Palace. I will just wait a second and maybe invest in them for 34 and just have them for the double up. If you are on a free hit, you should not touch the Palace player, just get him on the free hit. Next up we have City has a pretty bad run, but 4 home fixtures. That's 3 home fixtures from 4. Arsenal are on a pretty bad form, run of fixtures as well. So Arsenal 3, 2.5, let's say, but Villa, Brighton, City, they can all cause problems. Luton, they can score goals. So Arsenal are pretty low. basically, but not as low as West Ham. For me, West Ham with Newcastle, Spurs, Wolves, Fulham. Spurs, Wolves, and Fulham, as you can see, are in the top 8, and Newcastle is a top 10. I know that West Ham have been poorly in a pretty poorly form, so I would put West Ham players here as well. I don't fancy them at all, so West Ham is already selected. Spurs, not too tough run of a fixture, so maybe Spurs players to be kept. United, no. Newcastle, no. Forest, Palace, Fulham. So Forest are in a predicament. They have 3 home fixtures, so that can be their lifeline to stay in the Prem. But compared to the rest of the sides, I believe that Arsenal are up next on the tough fixture run. Like Arsenal face City, Brighton, and Aston Villa, but on the other hand, Villa faces City, Wolves, and Arsenal. I know Aston Villa are pretty good on a counter-attack and they can cause a lot of damage, but Arsenal and City away, they won 1-0 both of those games at home, but away is going to be a different breed, and I don't fancy Aston Villa's chances at the moment. The home fixtures are pretty easy, but for me, like that, Aston Villa makes up the 16th place on form, not on form, on best fixture run. So not a team to target at the moment. I wouldn't lie to you. I want to put in now the Arsenal team. I know they are a good team, but the fixture run is a fixture run, no matter the form or anything. So Arsenal are on the 15th. I know that's pretty low, but what can you do? So we're going up to Arsenal and we're scratching them out. So next up, we finished with the 3 tough fixtures. Now let's look at some 2 tough fixtures. City are here. Liverpool 1.5, so no. Fulham 1 tough against Newcastle, so Fulham are pretty high. It's too bad they do not have a double up. Everton, Bournemouth, Burnley. Yeah, okay, but 3 away fixtures, we have to have that in mind. Chelsea 3 home fixtures, so they're pretty high. Brentford, United, Brighton, Aston Villa. I believe Brentford are up next. I can even put them below Arsenal, if I have to be honest. United, Villa, Brighton, and without a double up, so yeah, I am switching them. So Brentford is here and Arsenal is here. Just because Arsenal have a double up and maybe their players are good to invest, I would stay away from Arsenal players for the moment, and most probably if you don't own Saka, yeah, you should get him, but if you own Saka and a defender, just stay with that and wait for 34 to arrive, and then you can bring in some more players for the double up. So we are done with several of the teams. Newcastle face Fulham and Tottenham, no. Spurs face Newcastle, so no. So Wolves, no. Forest, no. Newcastle, no. United, no. Maybe next up it's City, if I have to be perfectly honest. Like Everton are there as well, so I will put them below City for sure. So Everton, and I believe that's it. So we put Everton here as a team with not a pretty good fixture run. So I was trying to maybe buy Brent Waite in my defense, but 3 away fixtures, especially against Newcastle and Chelsea, those can be tough. So I would most probably steer away, even though they have a double up. I may invest somewhere else. Next up is Manchester City. I know they are the best team most probably in Europe, but the fixture run is a fixture run, so I'm scratching them out. They have Palace and Luton, but the rest of the sides are having just a better fixture run. Now we are down to 1 tough fixture, and now let's see. Oh no, Brighton are here. How can I forget about them? So this is Brighton and this is Man City. Yeah, Brighton are having 2 tough away fixtures. So yeah, Brighton are gone as well now, so we can scratch that out as well. And now we are down to 10 teams. Okay, now let's look at number of away fixtures. So Wolves 3 away, Forest no. So United United are next. Sorry, but Chelsea, Liverpool, not to my liking, and I can even put them below City, even though it's Arsenal. But City have 3 home fixtures, so Man United is here and Man City is here. So yeah, we scratch Manchester United out as well. And we're down to 9. Now let's look at away fixtures. It's not Liverpool. Oh my god, 3 home fixtures for them. 3 away from Fulham, but not too tough. 3 home for Chelsea. Mix for Burnley. I believe next is going to be most probably Wolves, as they face Villa, Burnley and Forest away. I know it's not the toughest run of fixtures, but 3 away fixtures, it's always tough. And now we are down to the bare bones at the moment. So Wolves here, 2-2, okay. Next up we have 3 away from Fulham. So Fulham, even though they face only Newcastle, let's see who faces Liverpool and still is here, or Spurs, but it's do I fancy Forest over Fulham? No, I do not. Do I fancy Burnley over Fulham? With Brighton Wolves? No, it's Burnley. Burnley is here. So we're going to take a look at the end of how the Fantasy Football Scout is ranking the next fixtures overall, and see if we have some luck by creating this list. So Bournemouth are one of the top sides for sure. Chelsea are one of the top sides. So here are top 3 contenders. Here are Liverpool. So Fulham has to go next, basically. Yeah, away fixtures are away fixtures, and they are going to be more tough than the home run. So let's put that out as well. Next up is Forest for sure. So Forest is here with so many home fixtures, but they are Forest, so I don't fancy them. And now we're down to the top 5. Spurs 2-2, okay. But Newcastle face Fulham and Spurs. Spurs face West Ham and Newcastle, so Newcastle are the next team we're going to put here. So Newcastle. By the way, Spurs and Chelsea are going to have more double ups, but we don't know the time frame yet. But I would highly consider a fixture run of Burnley, Sheffield and Everton. 2 of the 3 fixtures are at home. Maybe Liverpool are going to be at the top. Like Everton, Palace, United still for Bournemouth, so they have a top fixture. And they are not as good as the rest of the sides left. So Bournemouth is going to be scratched out. So if you don't own Bournemouth players and you need to get some defenders or Solanke, now it's a good time to do so. They have a double up in 34, don't forget that. Next up is going to be... Who is it going to be? We're down to the top 3, so Spurs, Liverpool and Chelsea. For me, Spurs is at top 3. Now we can scratch them out. Next up is Chelsea. And we're scratching them out as well. And the final team is going to be Liverpool. The 3 easier fixtures are at home. Both sides face United. It's even away for Liverpool, but for me, a home form from Liverpool, it's far better than Chelsea, and the double up counters the rest of it. So we now have it. The next 3 fixtures are for Liverpool, Chelsea and the next 4 fixtures, Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs. After that week passes, Spurs are going down, but that Wootton at home fixture, it's a pretty good fixture to pass. So if you have Son or a defender or someone like that, don't sell him at the moment. Bournemouth are pretty high. Newcastle, Forest, Fulham, Burnley, City are low, but City are City, so those 2 fixtures against Palace and Wootton can cause damage, and they have 3 home fixtures, so we cannot just avoid that, even though 2 of them are pretty hard. Arsenal, keep their players, you need them for 34, but don't buy any new ones before that. Villa, they may be a team to sell at the moment. If you need to get some other expensive assets, you can sell Watkins. In my opinion, Palace, even though they have a double up, I believe this double up need to be investing solely for the double up and not around those fixtures. And Sheffield with a double up, it's still number 19. Let's go now and look at Fantasy Football Scout, and let's look at the fixtures. So overall, let's see, how can I, okay, can I, yeah, I can go to the fixture ticker. I can just cross out weeks and put only 4 weeks. We have overall, and sort by. Okay, how can I sort it? Difficulty. Okay, let's see. So Chelsea and Bournemouth. Chelsea are top. So yeah, because of the home fixture against United, they are considered the top. So we have that pretty right. Bournemouth are pretty high, so they're number 4 for us. Fulham, they're number 7, so we are high. Liverpool are high. Forest are high. Burnley, Wolves, yeah, they're pretty high. Spurs are pretty low. I don't know why. I have them at number 3. And they are pretty much lower than that. But Burnley, Wolves, yeah, it's even in the same order for us. Fulham are higher just because they have Sheffield. Yeah, that counts. But let's not count a single game. It's away from home, so it can get difficult and it can get tricky. Then we have City, United, and City is down below here. United is... Where is Manchester United? It's a little bit higher. Sheffield are way over here, but they face Fulham, Liverpool, and Chelsea. I don't see Fulham as an easy fixture. Fulham are in a great form. They're top 4, so yeah, even though it's away, it's still Sheffield. But yeah, I think it's going to be a harsh game to analyze, but still okay. Luton, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace are down below. Compared to my ranking, Brighton are number 12. Here they have them pretty low, but they face Liverpool and Arsenal. That's why it's 2 tough fixtures, but realistically it's a 6-pointer run of fixtures. Compared to maybe West Ham, I don't see them getting 6 points. I don't see teams like who else we've got? Arsenal, yeah, they may get more points, but come on, it's City, Brighton, and Villa. It's looking a little bit tough. So yeah, I have it pretty spot on with my analysis. I believe Liverpool had the best fixture run because they're with a high possibility of 3 home wins, pretty comfortable home wins, and away fixture to United, they will want to avenge the drop from the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, so they will be in shape. But for sure, Chelsea are pretty high. So if you need a defender or a Cole Palmer in your side, you can invest with them for game week 30. I believe this is pretty okay week to invest in Chelsea players, and I pretty much plan to do so. If Gusto is fit, he's going to be my transfer target, but that's a topic for another video. If you want to see more of that and see me go to that topic, subscribe, turn the notifications on, give a like to this video so it can be promoted to more and more people. Write down a comment if you agree with me or if you disagree and you want me to look at something more specific. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.